The port leader is Danny Sullivan. Second is Ari Leyendyke. Back with our live coverage from Portland in a moment. The Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200 is being led by Danny Sullivan, whose last IndyCar win was in 1986 at the Cleveland Grand Prix. Right now, he has about a 1.5-second lead over Ari Leyendyke. Is Al Unser Jr. And there, those three move through corner number 3. In fourth position is Rick Mears. Now, he has dropped back considerably from Al Unser Jr. He was right up there on his tail for a while, but now look how far he is behind. About 5 seconds separate the third and fourth place cars of Al Unser Jr. and Rick Mears. And Mario Andretti in the white car, number 6 here, leading his son Michael Andretti through corners number 7 and 8. We have been told that the kart observers are watching for possible spray from that car. And certainly if they determine that there is enough spray coming from it, that it's a hazard to other drivers, he will be called in for a black flag. But as we watch him down the straightaway here, we don't see anything visible as far as our cameras are concerned.
No, it really doesn't. And there you see Emerson closing in on Mario and Michael as well. So Emerson is on the move.
Mario Andretti, the number 6, Kmart Lola, in 5th position at this moment. There's his son right on his heels, Michael Andretti, in that Craco March car number 18. Seems like there's always been a story here concerning fathers and sons on this Father's Day race that has been held 4 times previous here at Portland. Al Unser Jr., the son of a very famous race driver, of course, won the first year, then Mario the last 2 years. Bobby Rahal won last year, and he has just become a father. Now, here is Teo Fabi in the Porsche, car number 8, and he is having a good run in that car. He's been situated behind Bobby Rahal for just about all the race. Teo Fabi right now in the Porsche in 9th position, and John Andretti is behind him, and Bobby Rahal has to smoke the tires there going into that corner. Got a little hard on the brakes as he passed the lap car of Dale Coyne.
Yeah, he's not hard to tell where the brake bias is on that car. And here comes Teo now pulling out to pass, making a pass on Bobby Rahal into the chicane.
So Teo Fabi moves to 8th. Bobby Rahal drops back to 9th position. Well, the Quaker State Porsche team has really come a long way. You've got to take your hats off to these guys. It was less than a year ago, of course, last year at Laguna Seca, that this car was debuted. And they failed to make the final race of the IndyCar season last year, but they have been moving and making steady progress since then. Let's get on the pit area once again.
Well, Bob, we talk about the starting grid and qualifying positions. However, a real barometer of what these drivers can do in the race itself is that late Saturday afternoon practice session following qualifications. The 3rd fastest driver in that session yesterday was Teo Fabi. So we might expect some good things from the Porsche-powered March. And right now we have A.J. Foyt here in the pit area.
And, of course, the speculation is that there is a header problem on that car. The crew is going to work. Now, the pit crew is a little bit different than it was in Milwaukee a couple of weeks ago. Johnny Rutherford was a member of A.J.'s pit crew there.
Yes, I was the Gunga Din. I gave A.J. his drink of water and told him I would dump it in his lap and hit him in the head with a stick if he gave me any trouble. But there you can see they've got the engine cover off and obviously looking for some sort of a problem. They've got the engine shut down. They're pulling plug wires. So it could be just about anything.
Well, let's get a further update from the pit area. Gary?
Standing here with Jim Gilmore. Jim, earlier you said you thought it was something with the electrical system, and obviously they're working with the plug wires and the black box.
I would still have to believe, with the way the engine sounded at the beginning of the race, it is an electrical problem. I can't say for sure, but they're working with it right now. That would be my belief.
You started this race in 6th position in the points. Obviously, Lady Luck plays a major role in whatever you do on the racetrack, and this is not good luck this weekend.
Well, I guess we have to look at it that way, but I guess to being in racing as long as we have been, there's never a negative as far as I'm concerned.
AJ looks to be taking it rather well in the cockpit. I have seen some very animated response from him in the past, but he's very cool right now.
Well, I believe he feels in a race like this, there's so many things that could happen in this particular type of road race, that if it happens to us at the beginning, maybe it's better than as the race progresses.
You were talking about Johnny Rutherford being on the crew a couple of weeks ago at Milwaukee. There is another famous racing name on the crew today. The Vet Man and the Air Jack Man is none other than Billy Vukovich III, who was Rookie of the Year at the Indy 500 just a few weeks ago. He is working today on the crew of A.J. Foyt.
Well, A.J. has a couple of top 10 finishes in the 1988 season so far. He was 5th at Milwaukee, 4th in the opener at Phoenix, and finished 11th at Long Beach. Not a very good day for him at the Indianapolis 500. And there is Billy Vukovich, who is standing by in that A.J. Foyt pit. too far down the road here in the Super Modified last night. Meanwhile, back out on the racetrack, it is still Danny Sullivan who is leading this race. He now has about a 2.5-second advantage over Arie Luyendyk. There is Arie moving through turn number 3 and 4. Luyendyk in second position. Al Unser Jr. continues to run in third, and Rick Mears is in fourth position, as now the leaders catch up with some of the slower traffic.
It'll be interesting to see if Sullivan is hampered by this traffic at all and held up. Luyendyk could catch up, but if Sullivan can get through the traffic, then Luyendyk will get farther behind because Danny will take off, and he's... Whoa, Danny Sullivan nearly spins it. He does. Turn 9, and he saves it. There's Luyendyk right on his step, making a pass, coming off 9. Wow, how about that?
Unbelievable. He was trying to move by the slower car of Rocky Moran, and Sullivan lost it, sliding sideways, got into the grass, and that was all that Arie Luyendyk needed to pass. And here comes Al Unser Jr. to move to second.
Boy, now that's a change for you. How about that for quick?
So Al Unser Jr. moves to second, and the leader of this race is Arie Luyendyk. He becomes our second leader of the race. And here is a replay of what happened over there in corner number 9. Johnny?
Well, here we can see him come in very fast behind Rocky Moran, and he tucks to the inside, and there he gets up, gets on the brakes. The car slides. I think he just flat came around, got a little bit sideways. Everything was into the grass, coming back out. It's a wonder he wasn't collected by Luyendyk there. And, of course, little Al is back there running his straight line, and now we're back in the camera car with Al.
Well, don't count Danny Sullivan out, though, because he has spun and won before. His Indianapolis 500 victory, of course, came after he spun between turns 1 and 2. So Danny Sullivan, although he drops back to third position, is by no means out of the contest. Now Arie Luyendyk is himself beginning to lap some of the slower cars out there on the track. Here comes second and third as A.J. Foyt moves back out onto the racetrack. That's Danny Sullivan in the Miller High Life car, who is now back in that third position.
Be interesting to know if Danny might have flat spotted a tire there. I wouldn't think so. It didn't look like he had them locked up and smoking or anything like that. So his tires are probably still okay, but nevertheless, he'll have to settle down and get the rhythm back.
The question is, might he have damaged something on the race car when he was running over the curb and the bumps there?
I don't think so. The bottom of these cars are pretty tough. They're out of carbon fiber, and you can slide them up on something. You'd have to hit it very hard, and there's really nothing there in that particular turn, I think, to hit.
So they both pass one of the back markers coming through corner number 9 now. There's Arie Luyendyk, the leader, Al Unser Jr. in second, and Danny Sullivan running in third position. A lot of traffic ahead of the leader. That's Arie Luyendyk moving to the far left to pass a slower car going into the chicane. And the next car that Arie Luyendyk will be coming upon to pass is Roberto Guerrero. And here, once again, our in-car camera. That's Roberto Guerrero right ahead, now situated between the leader, Luyendyk, and second place, Unser.
That was nice of Roberto to move over and let little Al by. He knew that he obviously didn't have the power to hold anybody back and to try to get back in the lead lap by going by Luyendyk. So he moved over out of the way and let them get by clean.
Well, the word is from the Penske pit that everything is okay with that Danny Sullivan car. No damage done when he ran up on the curb and lost the lead to Arie Luyendyk. We'll be right back. The number 55 car of Scott Atchison, sponsored by Otter Pops, has come into the pit area. The cart observers were observing him for a possible oil leak, and that's what the crew is checking right now. Scott Atchison, one of those competing here for the very first time. Here come those up front, moving through the chicane. That's Al Unser Jr., who is running in second position, with Danny Sullivan behind him in third spot. Al Unser has moved through the slower traffic nicely as he heads for turn number 2. But you can see that Danny Sullivan still has a couple of cars to pass. Dominic Dobson there is in the 16 car, and he gets by Ludwig Heimrath Jr., so now only one car between second and third place. As Danny Sullivan tries to get back up front after spinning, or at least partially spinning, in corner number 9.